R&B singer Mario has long been admired for his soulful voice and heartfelt lyrics, earning him a devoted fan base across generations. But behind the smooth vocals and polished image lies a far more complicated reality. Over the years, Mario has faced deep personal struggles and public scrutiny, from his tumultuous relationship with his mother to ongoing criticism about his alleged reluctance to date Black women.
Now say what now?
Despite building his career and success on the love and support of Black women, many fans have noticed that he doesn't seem to date within the same community that uplifted him. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at how his upbringing and his complicated relationship with his mom may have shaped not only his views on love, but also his dating preferences. But before we dive deep into other people's business, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. To give you some better insight into this story, we have to take you back to August 27, 1986, when Mario was born in Baltimore, Maryland, to Darrell Barrett Sr., a gospel singer who abandoned him, and Shantia Hardaway. According to Baltimore Magazine, life was rough, especially since Mario's mother dealt with addiction issues. While his mother battled her personal demons, Mario would bounce around between his mom's house and his grandmother's residence. It was at his grandmother's house that life finally felt peaceful and structured.
Like, we went to church 3 days a week. My grandmother was like very, very strict on the family. Like, she didn't care if you was if somebody in the family just finished getting high. She like, you going to church today. She's probably one of the strongest women I've ever met.
According to Baltimore Magazine, his childhood was marked by toxicity and instability. His mother's long battle with addiction cast a dark shadow over his formative years, forcing him to grow up fast in a world that often felt unpredictable. While she wrestled with her demons, young Mario found himself shuttling between her home and his grandmother's, searching for a sense of safety and consistency that always seemed just out of reach. Even with the drama unfolding around him, Mario clung to one unshakable dream: to sing his way into a better life. In the middle of his mother's addiction and the trauma that came with it, music became his escape. When they'd visit the local barbershop, his mother would nudge him to sing for the customers, her eyes lighting up with pride as he filled the room with a voice far too powerful for his age. The men in the chairs would slip him a few dollars, stunned by the raw talent pouring out of this quiet Baltimore kid. Despite her own struggles, his mother recognized something rare in him. She scraped together what she could to buy him a karaoke machine and hustled to get him into every talent show that would take him. For a fleeting moment, those performances gave them both hope that maybe his voice could be the ticket out of everything they were fighting to survive. At just 11 years old, Mario stepped onto a small talent show stage and sang Boyz II Men's "I'll Make Love to You" with the kind of emotion most grown men couldn't fake.
That song is very appropriate for an 11-year-old to sing. Said no one ever. Nobody said that. Nobody. Whose idea was that for that boy to sing that song? He couldn't sing Amazing Grace or something?
By the time he hit the final note, the crowd was on its feet and the judges were floored. That performance changed the entire trajectory of his entire life. In the audience was Troy Patterson, the owner and CEO of Third Street Music Group. Captivated by Mario's voice, he approached the young singer after the show and told him he had something special. Troy became his manager, and Mario went from singing in barbershops to suddenly being on the path to becoming a superstar. Sadly, tragedy hit hard in 1999 when Mario's grandmother, his safe haven and the only real stability he'd ever known, passed away. Her passing caused him to act out. He got in trouble with the law, and by the time he entered high school, it was clear he needed a way out.
I got in trouble, and the cops couldn't find my parents, and I ended up living with my aunt for a little bit, and then I was still acting a fool. This was like right after my grandmother died. You grow up and you start getting that nurturing love from somebody. When that's gone, and you're not getting it from anywhere else, you turn cold.
In 2001, his mother made a heartbreaking but selfless decision. She allowed his manager, Troy, to become Mario's legal guardian when Mario was still in high school. Mario packed up and moved to New Jersey, determined to turn his pain into purpose. There he began recording demos that would change everything. His voice eventually caught the attention of music legend Clive Davis.
Oh, Lord, not Clive. Lord have mercy, not Clive.
Clive signed him to J Records. Not long after, Mario was featured on the Dr. Dolittle 2 soundtrack. By February 2002, he was on the road to stardom. He released his debut single, a reimagined version of Biz Marquis's Just a Friend, and his smooth vocals turned a playful classic into an instant hit. The record shot to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, officially putting his name on the map. Days later, Mario performed Stevie Wonder's You and I at Clive Davis's legendary Grammy party, silencing the room with a voice that carried both innocence and pain. Guests called the performance captivating, and for good reason. He sang like someone who had already lived 1,000 lives. When his self-titled debut album dropped on March 19, 2002, it went gold. The song Braid My Hair climbed to the top of the charts. In case you forgot, the song is about Mario being in love and getting his hair braided by his boo. Years later, he told BuzzFeed the song was inspired by the girl he was with at the time. When asked what role Black love played in the song and what Black love meant to him as an artist, he answered, "I think when there's love involved, especially Black love, it's just powerful. It resonates. And whenever I think about Black in general, I think about creativity."
The hell that mean? It's given I don't know what Black love means because I don't believe in black. You know what? Let me mind my business.
He hit the road in the summer of 2003 and appeared on the Screen 3 tour, all while working on his second album called Turning Point. The album was released on December 7, 2004. By that point, Mario was 18, and he was ready to show the world that he was no longer the cute little boy they adored. The new album featured more adult songs, including Let Me Love You, which was written by Neo.
Oh, Lord, not freaking Neo, child. Oh, Lord.
The single hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and stayed there for 9 weeks straight. Both the single and the album earned him 2 Grammy nominations. By 2006, the same man who had once rescued Mario from a broken home became the source of a new kind of pain. Mario accused his manager, Troy, of trapping him in what he described as an oppressive production deal. According to Reuters, despite selling over 3 million records, Mario had only received $50,000, while his record label, J Records, reportedly made $20 million. For a young man who had already been failed by his parents, the betrayal hit differently. The man he'd trusted to guide his career had mirrored the same pattern of disappointment and control that haunted his childhood. Troy countersued Mario, alleging breach of contract. They reached a confidential, amicable agreement, and everything was settled by January 2007. The scars from that experience stayed with Mario long after the legal battles ended, reinforcing the mistrust that had taken root in his childhood. Having been failed by his parents and the man who once felt like a savior, Mario learned early on that love, loyalty, and protection often came with betrayal. It left him guarded, wary of men, women, and anyone who tried to get too close. In October 2007, he confronted his past via an MTV documentary called I Won't Love You to Death, the story of Mario and his mom. In the program, Mario described seeing paraphernalia in their home while growing up, and he was always worried about his mom because sometimes he wouldn't see her for days or weeks at a time.
What's wrong with you then?
Nothing wrong with it. But you told him not to bring up the drug thing.
Because that's my business. Can't nobody, not a doctor, not a detoxing, can't nobody say it's over till I say it's over. It's over when I say it's over. My addiction, my disease, it's over when I say it's over.
Did you feel like just because you're my mother, you can do whatever you want and I'm supposed to accept it, and that's not true. If you would just do what you say you're going to do, you ain't going to have to worry about it. Come here, we talking. Where you going? Come here, though, for real, seriously. Come here, Mom.
At one point, he and some family members staged an intervention. By that point, his mom had already relapsed several times and had refused treatment. Though there were moments of genuine love between them, the tension between Mario and his mother was impossible to ignore. He often tried to confront her about her addiction, accusing her of spending too much time in the bathroom, but she always denied having a problem. The denial often turned into conflict. She clashed with his new manager, Jay Irving, and made it increasingly difficult for Mario to separate his career from the pain he was enduring. Still, he wanted her close. Despite everything, he longed for her to be part of his world, part of his success, and part of the life he had built despite her struggles. But that hope came with fear that her addiction would eventually destroy both of them. By the end of the documentary, his mother finally agreed to seek treatment by saying, "I'm tired of living my life in the bathroom because one day I may go in there and never come out." That moment captured the lifelong ache that shaped Mario. Growing up with a love that was unstable, conditional, and often self-destructive can warp how a person connects with others as an adult. It can make affection feel dangerous, vulnerability feel like weakness, and control feel like the only form of safety. For Mario, the same instincts that helped him survive his childhood likely made it harder to trust, open up, and truly believe that love doesn't have to hurt. According to Baltimore Magazine, around this time, Mario was able to afford a condo for him and his mom to live in. He even spoiled her with expensive shopping sprees, yet he blamed himself for enabling her. Following the documentary, his third studio album, entitled Go, was released in 2007. Mario got very personal with one song in particular, called Do Right, which touched on his mother's substance problems. In 2008, he co-founded the Mario Do Right Foundation. The organization's mission was to help kids whose parents were dealing with substance issues. In April 2009, he released his fourth album, DNA. The album helped put him back on top with the lead single, Breakup, featuring Sean Garrett and Gucci Mane. Everything appeared to be going right in his life until October 2010, when Mario was locked up for allegedly putting his hands on his mother inside their Baltimore home. According to MTV, his mom claimed Mario used his hands and forearms to push her in the chest and shoulder area. She also claimed it wasn't the first time things had gotten physical between them. He was released on $50,000 bond, and according to Baltimore Magazine, his mom recanted her statements. She admitted she was under the influence at the time the alleged incident took place and that nothing happened. The charges against Mario were eventually dropped. Over the next few years, he faced setbacks in releasing albums. RCA Records shut down J Records in October 2011, forcing Mario to record with RCA. He released a few singles, but an album never surfaced. According to Revolt, he left the label due to creative differences. In 2013, he told Coco Fab website that he put some space between himself and his mom, with Mario living in LA and his mom residing in Maryland. He admitted that the distance actually helped their relationship. He added, "We have better communication, better respect and understanding." But the demons from his past, the trauma, instability, and betrayal that shaped his childhood eventually began seeping into his relationships. Mario admitted that his connection with his mother influenced how he viewed and treated women.
For the earlier parts of my life, I think that there was just like this longing for me, looking for like that love through different women and, just really just being super promiscuous, to be honest.
Still, he acknowledged the damage and chose to confront it. In his interview with Vibe magazine, he shared that he had done deep inner work and experienced real personal growth. He was finally unpacking the pain he had buried for years, facing the parts of his past that once defined him, and trying to break free from the emotional cycles that came with it. Sadly, in June 2017, his mom passed away from an overdose at the age of 49. Mario channeled his sadness into his music and released the album Dancing Shadows in October 2018. It was his first album in nearly a decade. Now let's fast forward to 2020, a year that tested everyone's resilience. Between the pandemic and the social unrest that swept across the country, emotions were high and tensions even higher. During that time, Mario spoke with Essence magazine about the importance of Black men showing up for and protecting Black women, especially in moments when the world seemed to be falling apart. A year later, he popped out with his new girlfriend, and fans weren't feeling his preference at all. One online user wrote, "Isn't it strange all these Black R&B singers mysteriously end up with non-Black? LOL. but want black women's support and pander to us. Damn, they make a good point though. Another social media user wrote, "My issue is, please let your art reflect your preferences. He is one of those who get black women hyped up for coins and support. Were their feelings valid? In many ways, yes." For decades, R&B has been the heartbeat of black love, the genre that gave voice to the pain, passion, and resilience of black women. So when a singer like Mario builds his entire career on serenading black women, drawing from their emotional experiences and profiting off their loyalty, it hits differently when he publicly dates outside the community. It feels like a contradiction, almost like he's performing affection for black women in his music, but withholding it in real life.
Say it louder for the people in the back, bestie. One more time.
To some, it reads as emotional exploitation. They accused him of using the image of loving and adoring black women to sell records, while privately chasing validation elsewhere. It reinforces a painful cycle that many fans recognize too well. The idea that black women are celebrated for their strength, beauty, and devotion, yet are often left out of the happily ever after narrative once success enters the picture.
And when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. Ain't that what Kanye said? His crazy behind was on to something, though.
In the summer of 2023, he wrote a letter in support of his collaborator, Tory Lanez, ahead of Tory's sentencing in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting case. Mario was one of over 70 people who penned a letter to Tory's judge, who ultimately sentenced the artist to 10 years in prison for firing several shots at Megan in July 2020. In the letter, Mario described Tory as a stand-up individual who cares about his family deeply and loves to give back to his community. After news of Mario's letter spread, social media users were quick to criticize him for supporting Tory and turning his back on Megan, a black woman.
Yeah, what about the importance of black men showing up for and protecting black women, Mario? Did you forget that?
And then in August 2023, the host at V103 Atlanta asked if he was single. Mario answered,
Listen, I hate that question because it's like I'm always in between or like working on something. Listen, I'm honestly speaking, I'm not. I can't say that I am. I'm dating right now.
The lucky woman turned out to be this girl. And when Mario shared this video of her with The Sweetest Thing by the refugee camp All-Stars featuring Lauryn Hill playing in the background, all hell broke loose. One online user commented, not him playing The Sweetest Thing while riding with this white woman. These black men just be playing in y'all faces. That was probably one of the most tame responses. Another online user wrote, "These niggas are really allergic to black women." While another person commented, "We not coming to your rescue when it all falls down." So by that point, the public had decided that Mario was only interested in non-black women, and they were gonna hound him about it until the end of time. In 2024, he released his 6th studio album, and no one seemed to care.
Bestie, you messy as you know. You know that, don't you? I knew I was waiting for you to be messy. Here it come. Here it come. Here we go. Here we go.
And then in June of that same year, he reposted a DM he had with a fan. In the message, the fan called him out for only dating white girls. Mario responded, "I like good energy, and who loves me the way that's healthy? Could be black, white, Mexican, alien. I dated an alien before, it was great."
Boy, stop lying. Just say you like white girls and keep it moving.
The woman from the car video was still in his life and was identified as Esmeralda Rios.
If that ain't the most Mexican name, baby, that put the tequila in Mexican. It put the enchilada in Mexican. Okay, you get the point.
He invited her to attend Michael Rubin's white party with him. When the host at the Morning Hustle asked why he would bring sand to the beach, Mario answered, "I had to take her. There were too many girls there. I had to bring my girl. If you respect your partner, you have to move in a way that shows respect."
Amen to that. Now we can agree on that, Mario.
While at the party, he posted a video of him and Esmeralda sharing an intimate moment. The host on the Morning Hustle asked why he shared the video, since he's usually private about his personal life. He responded that she's his safe place and he trusts her. Regardless of her race, that revelation speaks volumes. For someone like Mario, a man who grew up surrounded by instability, betrayal, and loss, finding a partner he genuinely feels safe with is monumental. His entire life has been a battle between craving love and fearing it, between wanting connection and expecting pain. So for him to openly express trust, especially after everything he's endured, shows real emotional growth. It's the kind of peace he's been chasing since his childhood. In 2025, Esmeralda revealed she was pregnant, and Mario was the baby's pappy.
One thing a black man gonna do is create a single mother. I don't care what race she is, okay? It never fails. Argue with your mammy, I said what I said.
While it was a happy occasion for the couple, the internet lost its collective mind. The allegations that Mario didn't like black women resurfaced, and by then he felt the need to address all the criticism. Taking to his Instagram story, he said he had had enough of people coming for him about the mother of his child not being black. He wrote, "I'm so tired of the black women slander in the comments about how I don't like black women and how black women aren't loved. If you're making these comments, I'm convinced you have a problem with black women. Black women are loved and needed."
He said y'all are loved, just not by him, okay? Just get somebody else to do it, he said.
And then 2 months later, he had a chat with Cam Newton and tried to explain his love for black women in the most convoluted way.
Do you have anything against black women?
No, sir. No, sir, I don't.
What is your relationship like with black women?
That's a great question. The ones that matter to me, my grandmother, my mother, my family members, my aunts, a few of the black women that I have dated in the past, my relationship with them were all different. I can't compare one to the other. I can say that my grandmother was my hero.
The hell he talking about? I think I just lost some brain cells. Lord.
Mario's story is shaped by love that was complicated and often conditional. Growing up with instability and emotional turmoil taught him early that trust comes at a cost. It's no surprise that those early wounds might influence whom he gravitates toward as an adult. Sometimes men who were hurt by the women closest to them unconsciously seek safety in partners who feel different. And for Mario, finding someone who feels peaceful and safe may be his way of rewriting the story his childhood left behind. Still, that doesn't erase the tension between his message and his reality. While Mario's dating preferences are ultimately his business, black women have always known the power of their wallets and their support. If they choose to pull back from him and his music, then well, it is what it is.
Whoop-de-doo.
At the end of the day, we can acknowledge both truths: his right to choose love in whatever form it arrives, and the right of his audience to feel disappointed. Either way, Mario's stepping into a new chapter, one that includes fatherhood and hopefully the kind of healing that he's been craving his entire life.